Hi everyone, it's Chani from First Things First, here to talk about the pros and cons of the first home loan deposit scheme and whether or not it's worth all the hype. So, without further ado, let's start with some of the pros. First, and probably the most helpful pro, is that with a lower deposit amount needed to get started, the first home loan deposit scheme can help you get onto the property ladder faster, which can give you more time to benefit from any capital growth your property might experience. Of course, property price rises are not always guaranteed, so this shouldn't be your only consideration. The next big pro is the whole reason the magic 20% deposit amount matters in the first place. You can avoid lender's mortgage insurance, or LMI for short. As a guide, with a $30,000 or 5% deposit on a $600,000 property in Victoria, you could be saving over 21 grand in LMI, which can make a big difference to your bottom line. However, while these pros are pretty compelling, the scheme isn't without its cons. Starting out with a lower deposit means you're borrowing more money to buy your first home, increasing the amount you owe. And regardless of the interest rate, the higher the loan amount, the higher your interest repayments are going to be, which can mean more time for you to pay off your mortgage. The next potential hurdle of the scheme is the limited number of places available, only 10,000 across the country each financial year. To put this number into context, there were almost 11,000 first home buyer purchases in October 2019 alone. And just over a week after the scheme became available, 3,000 of the spots had already been reserved. The good news in 2020 is that even though the scheme launched in January this year, the limit on places is set per financial year, so another 10,000 places will open up in July. Also, the first home loan deposit scheme isn't going to suit everyone, so just because there are more first home buyers and there are places available, it doesn't mean you're without hope. It just means that if you're keen on applying, you need to be quick because the places are allocated on a first come, first served basis. The first home loan deposit scheme is a great option for those who otherwise meet all the responsible lending criteria banks abide by, but are either early in the savings process or struggling to pull together a deposit on top of paying for rent. If you're keen to learn more about the first home loan deposit scheme and whether it's right for you, or are ready to speak to us about applying for a place, make sure you give us a call or visit the First Things First website. In the meantime, be sure to check out our video on the eligibility criteria for this scheme. Thanks for watching.